What's going on, everybody? I wanted to address something, and usually I don't, I'm not trying to address this comment to embarrass anybody. But sometimes you get people on your video and they want to troll you as acting if you don't know something that you actually do. And I'm going to take this time to actually use it as a teaching lesson. I'm going to talk about my cologne that I'm wearing today, which is Angel Share by Killian. And we're going to get into this comment because the person actually did a great, they tried to troll me and ended up proving my point, but they actually gave me some literature that may help you guys, in your own, in lieu of their trying to troll me. Okay, so this video is this is on my the right to travel is a wasted argument. No law requires you to have a driver's license. I got multiple kind of like trolling type of vibes on this video, but I don't, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I don't try to force people into, their comments. I don't really delete comments unless it's like something where you're saying something ridiculously, like you're cursing or saying something crazy. And even then, I don't really even delete that. But when it comes to certain instances, I feel like I have to address certain things. So in this video, I made a comment where I said the case law is BS. Now, I made a comment that case law is BS because if you read case law in some instances, if the person pled incorrectly or they didn't follow certain rules of evidence or they didn't follow certain rules of court, it can lead to a case decision that is an adversarial decision based on their conduct in that case. So when people read case law, they take it like, oh, see, the judge ruled this and it has to be right. But most people only read synopsises. And if you read the whole case, you can actually see where the person messed up in a lower court or where they tried to appeal it and then they didn't handle the business in the lower court. And that's why they're in the situation they're in. Okay. So this is why this person, I'm not going to try to go too hard on you. So they stated, case law is not BS. Please don't listen to anything this non-lawyer has to say. Okay, like what I'm saying is just nothing. So you came to my video. I never came to your video. You don't have any content on your video. This is just a troll account. Okay. The citation serves a couple of purposes. It is a notice to the citizen that a judicial proceeding is started against them. So it works as a summons. Plus, the allegations contained in the citation serve as prima facie evidence for both personal and subject matter jurisdiction. No, that's not true. That is not true. All this acts is it does act as prima facie evidence. And yeah, it does act as prima facie evidence, but prima facie evidence is not fact. Okay. So I was kind of rude with my response, but I shouldn't have responded in this matter. But sometimes you get irritated when you spend days studying information and then you make a video for somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about to comment on it and say you don't know what you're talking about. So look, laughing my ass off. You obviously didn't listen to the video, and that's what irritates me too. When people, well, it don't really irritate me. I don't care anymore. But first, when I started doing videos, when people would just react to the title and not actually listen to the video, because I have a comment down here lower where somebody's saying I'm telling people not to get driver's licenses. I never told you not to get a driver's license or to get insurance on your vehicle. That's at your discretion. The state can't force you to do that. So I think when people think that the state is forcing them to do it, they think that they have to do these things, and they give them the illusion that they're compelled to do these things. That's why I did the right to travel video, because a lot of times when people think that they have to bring up the right to travel, that will mean that you're arguing, that you have a right to travel instead of arguing the procedure of the court, because that's what you should be arguing. Okay, if there's any procedure that the court did not follow or the clerks did not follow to get you in the court, they can't have the court case. That's the point of the video. Okay, I may have not eloquently stated that, but it should be common sense. Okay, so look, laughing my ass off. You obviously didn't listen to this video because I addressed everything, which I did. I addressed all of his comments. Okay, a citation is not a summons, therefore it cannot be used as one, which is a fact. Okay, a summons and a citation are two different things. A citation can be used in the summons, but a signed complaint has to be filed with every court case. So a complaint and a summons is two separate things. Okay, So you can't use a traffic ticket and then have a court case on a traffic ticket and be like, aha, I got you. You're going to court. You're going to jail. No, you can't do that. That's a violation. Okay, that's why they have to have the citation and the complaint filed into evidence. Okay, or in the citation or the complaint has to reference the citation and the citation has to be attached. So show me one state that says a citation and a summons are the same thing. Don't worry, I'll wait, because they're not. Every case I've won without citing one case. It doesn't mean that they can't be used, but in most cases, they are not needed. A court cannot get past what I stated in this video, which they cannot. Okay. I know because I've gotten remedy from it, and other people who I've helped have, which I meant have also. Also, prima facie evidence does not give the court personal jurisdiction. It doesn't. You better read up on law. It gives the presumption of jurisdiction, which is a fact. So this was the person's comeback. Okay, it says see Alabama Rules of Judiciary Administration Rule 19. That took me 5 minutes to find. So yeah, I think we're done here. Oh, he forgot I have a search engine too. So we'll go to Alabama Rules of Judicial Administration, Rule 19, Uniform Traffic Infractions. Okay, so if we all understand the English language, unlike this person, we understand that and means that something is accompanying something, right? So if I say me and my friend, that means that me or my friend and I, which is proper English, my friend and I means that I came with a friend. Now, if I say me, then I came by myself. Okay, so it says complaint and summons. Okay, so what people don't understand is that most cases the state is trying to use a ticket as a complaint. Okay, they can't do that. So you have to ask them, where's the complaint for this case? This was the point that I showed you when the video where I showed you, and I'll put it in the upper right hand corner when I was going over this case with this young man who got a traffic violation and he was getting railroaded in court. Okay, he never asked for where's the summons, where's the complaint. I didn't get a complaint. Okay, so this is where it says traffic complaint and summons. Okay, we understand it because we're smart enough to understand that and means that it has to be accompanied with something, right? We understand that. That's basic English. Okay, the complaint and summons used in all non-felony traffic cases filed in all courts of the state shall be the uniform traffic ticket and the complaint. The ticket or an approved electronic version of the ticket containing substantially the same information as that found on the ticket. Okay, so that is telling you either they have to have this all in one or it has to have one with the other. Okay, so yes, if they have a uniform traffic ticket, like if they have a uniform form and it acts as a summons, yes, that can be a complaint. But this person in the comment section ended up looking stupid because they didn't read the citation. Or an approved version of the ticket containing substantially the same information as found on the ticket. Any reference to the ticket made in these rules shall also include an electronic version of the ticket approved by the Administrative Director of Courts, the ADC. Okay, so we go back to this person who is making himself look very, very bad and not understanding that a ticket cannot act as a complaint unless they have a certain form that combines, no matter what, the ticket has to be either referenced in the complaint. There has to be a complaint. Okay, in all civil manners, there has to be a complaint. Otherwise, the person that's going through it is having their rights violated. All right, so look, the facts you allege okay, so we'll go back to what that person said. So we said we went through rule. I'm going to go back to Alabama Rules of Judicial Administration, Rule 19. I'll go back to it. Okay, so it may have took them 5 minutes to search, but they didn't read it. So look, the facts alleged in the citation serve as prima facie evidence. We're not arguing that it does serve as prima facie evidence, but prima facie evidence is not a fact. it's it's a presumption of fact, as I stated in my video. So look, of both personal and subject matter jurisdiction, and create a rebuttable presumption that jurisdiction is proper. You better read up on law. Your ignorance is showing. No, it isn't. I'm going to go through that Rule 19, and I'm going to show you how you can actually use that Rule 19 to get rid of traffic tickets. Okay. So thanks to this person that's trying to troll me, you actually gave me something that I can give to other people so they can find out how to get through traffic tickets for free. So look, the facts alleged, you forgot a key word, and it is called alleged. An allegation can't be a fact unless it can be proven. So when a police officer pulls you over, the only thing that can prove that they pulled you over at the time that they pulled you over is a sworn statement. So a police report is not a sworn statement. You see what I'm saying? So a police report can't even be brought into evidence. It can be if it's brought in correctly, but most people don't even know that. So look, which is common sense. No duh, the claims are rebuttable, which is the point of the whole video. See, if he actually watched the video, he'd be like, oh yeah, he's right. So that means that the ticket does not give the court jurisdiction unless it goes unrebutted, which is the point of this video. Also, you're dealing with a defective petition and lack of proper service. Okay, so let's see. Let's go with what a defective petition is. There's many case laws to prove what a defective petition is. Okay. So for you guys, return of a defective petition. If a petition is defective in some correctable respect, the original of the petition will be returned by letter to the petitioner, who will be allowed to submit a correct petition. See, this is how if you're learning what you should be doing when somebody sends you incorrect petition, you're supposed to send it back. You see what I'm saying? So when you read courses, you guys need to really get into court stuff. I'm gonna do probably one more like a court thing. And in my opinion, if I could have did this all over again, I would have learned court first. And the reason why I would have learned court first, not payments, not discharging debt, I wouldn't have learned none of it. I would have learned court first. Because if I would have learned court first, if any of this stuff goes past like where the lender is not responding, I wouldn't have any, I wouldn't have any fear going into court. I don't have any fear now going into court, but a lot of people do. So look, there's plenty case law to show you if a petition is not correct. Okay. A petition therefore is defective when it does not substantially confirm the requirements stated in sections 311.1 and 311.2, provided that a petition may not be dismissed as defective, but must instead be amended when the defect or irregularity is of a kind that may be cured by amendment pursuant to section 311.5, and where the presentment agency moves to amend. Okay, so they're just showing you what has to be done when a petition is defective. Okay, so some of this, like, we can get out of our feelings and stop trying to be smarter than other people, especially you attorneys who try to troll people. I'm trying to teach people here. You see what I'm saying? If you don't like that, you can go to your own website and create your own content. If you don't like what I'm saying, create your own content. It's that easy. You don't have to sit here and try to, troll people because you're an attorney, and that's really a useless position. You know what I'm saying? Many people can handle their own legal affairs. So let's go. So we'll go. Okay. So no duh. Okay, so you have to understand, if you have not properly served then you have to address that sua sponte. Okay. Now look. So this was my last response to this person. And then we'll go back to Rule 19 because he actually did me a favor, some of you guys who are going through traffic violations and things, just by what he stated. So sometimes ignorance can breed intelligence. So look, laughing my ass off. You can't read. This is hilarious. And I'm wrong for this. I'm probably going to change this and take this down because I was wrong for it. One, traffic complaint and summons. The traffic, so remember, and means that a traffic complaint and a summons has to be both provided. Okay. The complaint and summons used in all non-felony traffic cases filed. See, it says both have to be filed in all courts of the state shall be the uniform traffic ticket and complaint. See, in this state, they tend to combine the two. Okay. But it still has to meet the grounds of a valid complaint. So even if this state has its own policy, that doesn't mean that I have to have the court heard in this state or in this court. You see what I'm saying? So the ticket, yeah, because the policy doesn't conform with the United States Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, or an approved electronic version of the ticket containing substantively the same information as found on the ticket. Any reference to the ticket made in these rules shall also include an electronic version of the ticket approved by the Administrative Director of Courts, the ADC. It states they still have to have a summons. That's why the rule says traffic complaint and summons. It says the summons has to reference the ticket. Laughing my ass off, learn how to read. Now, I should have dealt with that better, I admit, but sometimes I get very, very irritated. Okay, so now we're going to go to a notice of appear, and it's in Alabama. This is most states. You can find something around it in your state. Okay, so I'm going to take this as a teaching lesson from a trolling lesson. So look, notice to appear. The notice to appear is a document that may be electronically generated and printed at the site of the traffic stop or completed by hand by the issuing officer and served upon the defendant in lieu of the ticket. What? So they have to serve a notice on top of a ticket in Alabama? Yes. See, when you read the law, that's why I say I don't have to argue that I have the right to travel. I can just argue that they didn't follow the law. You didn't follow the law. I can say, yeah, I was speeding, but you didn't follow the law, so you don't have jurisdiction. Look, a notice to appear shall be served upon the defendant only in the event the law enforcement officer issues and files an electronic ticket with the court. See? The contents and the format of the notice of appear shall be established and approved by the ADC. Okay, we're going to go through this. Use of a ticket. The ticket shall be used in all non-felony cases in all courts of the state. Any ticket properly issued by a law enforcement officer. Well, what did we find out? It has to be issued with what? A notice to appear. Okay? So, any ticket properly issued by a law enforcement officer shall be accepted for filing and disposition in any court having jurisdiction over the alleged offense. So what does that tell you? How do I know that the court has jurisdiction over the alleged offense if the person hadn't followed the steps that they have to get me into court? Okay. Form of traffic complaint and summons and notice to appear. The form, content, and numbering scheme of the ticket shall be prescribed in attachment 1 to this rule. The form, content, and numbering schemes of an electronic version of the ticket shall be as approved by the ADC. The form and content of the notice to appear shall be as approved by the ADC. Okay, so you have to remember this is an administrative court. The administrative court has the right to create rules and to enforce those rules, but they don't have the right to force you to comply with the rules. These are the rules they have to comply with. Okay, the issuance of tickets to law enforcement officers. Each law enforcement agency shall include the tickets for use by each officer within that agency. Each law enforcement agency shall obtain its supply of the paper tickets through purchasing. What? Through purchasing and distribution channels prescribed by the ADC. What did they just say? Let me rickety, rickety, rickety. I'm gonna primo that. Chicka, chicka, chicka. I'm bringing it back. Okay. Each law enforcement agency shall obtain its supply of paper tickets through purchasing and distribution. So when people say, oh, traffic tickets ain't bills of exchange, they're not negotiable instruments. What? It just says it. It says these people don't be lying to y'all. They don't be hiding nothing from y'all. They telling you right here. They purchase them. They purchase traffic tickets. Okay? Prescribed to by the ADC. All electronic versions and formats of the tickets will also be distributed by the Administrative Office of Courts, the AOC. Any electronic ticket must be approved by the ADC. Accountability for tickets, law enforcement agencies. See, they telling you, man, these people are engaging in purchasing and selling of securities. What did I tell you? I've been told y'all this. All right, paper tickets. Each law enforcement agency shall be responsible for proper accounting and use of all tickets stocked by that agency. Each law enforcement officer, including a ticket, shall complete and sign the ticket because they dealing in bills of exchange. Serve a copy of the ticket, the completed ticket, upon the defendant without necessary delay, normally within 48 hours, acknowledge under oath the facts alleged therein before any person with judicial branch within the judicial branch of government who is authorized by the state of Alabama to administer oaths and file the court copies of the ticket with the court having jurisdiction over the alleged offense. Okay, electronic tickets. A law enforcement officer issuing electronic tickets shall electronically or wirelessly transmit the defendant's licensing information. Wait, people say, oh, they don't use driver's licenses. They don't, your driver's license is, no, the driver's license is used like a credit card. It's used like a credit card. Yes, it is. Oh, a driver's license need a credit card. Yes, it is. I've been told y'all this. I should have never took that video down. That's when I brought up that they were using the Uniform Unclaimed Property Act to make charges on your driver's license because y'all don't even understand what's going on. Look, driver's licensing information and other pertinent information to be included on the electronic ticket to the AOC. If required by the court of jurisdiction, the law enforcement officer shall also submit a printed copy of the electronic ticket directly to the court pursuant to the provisions of this rule. The court may electronically file the traffic ticket and otherwise process the ticket. So when you guys are going through these processes, just look up these rules, right? Look up these rules and then see if your state has a rule that complies with this rule. So if you find any element that's incorrect, you can get that ticket thrown out and you can easily get that case thrown out and overturned. And then you can clean your driving record this way. Okay, serve a summons or a notice to appear upon the defendant and without unnecessary delay, normally within 48 hours, see, they only have 48 hours to process this, acknowledge under oath that the facts alleged, and I'm pretty sure they're going to backdate these, the facts alleged therein before any person within the judicial branch of government who is authorized by the state of Alabama to administer oaths. So they're telling you they have to do this in front of somebody, okay? Both the law enforcement, imagine doing this for $100 ticket. Imagine doing all of this for $100 ticket. Both the law enforcement officer, and the reason why they do it at $100 is because that's less than what's required to file for a 1099 C. That's why they do it like that. So that's how they get around being the traffic ticket being the amount that you could file on the 1099 C. So look, both the law enforcement officer and the person administering the oath may use electronic signature process approved by the ADC when swearing to and verifying the electronic tickets. Now, you have to remember that this is not supported by the Constitution, but it's supported by their administrative courts. So that's beautiful. I mean, that don't matter. You can get that thrown out anyway. Courts, the presiding circuit judge, other judge, or clerk of each court shall designate personnel to be responsible for accounting for all tickets used in such court. So you're telling me they're not doing banking? What you're telling me court cases, as I said before, are not bank, are not accounts? Yes, they are accounts. So anything that has to do with accounting is an account. It doesn't matter what context is used. Anything that has to do with accounting is an account. Thank you, person who trolled me. You helped me prove everything I'm saying and made it a lot easier for me. Look, as a one-stop shop, I didn't have to use 50 million publications and laws. He just helped me just put it all in one. Thank you. Or she, whoever's trolling, I don't care. The designated personnel shall be responsible for the proper disposition and accounting of such tickets. What did I tell this person who said it's the clerk bringing the case? It's the clerk bringing the case. I said no. The clerk is responsible for the accounting and disposition of the case, and shall cause to be prepared and submitted such records and reports relating to the tickets as may be requested by the ADC upon request made in person, in writing, or by other means by the defendant or the defendant's attorney. The clerk of court shall print or otherwise provide a copy of the electronic ticket to the person making the request. Now, why do you think they have to do that? What the hell did I tell you guys about debt validation? When you're going into court and you're requesting discovery, that's just like doing a debt validation. You know what? I'm not even going to read this, man. I just want y'all to know, like, I appreciate all y'all who watch this video, even if you put positive comments or negative comments. I have to thank all y'all because some of y'all negative comments, y'all get me fired up and inspire me, man. Some of y'all positive comments, y'all keep me going. So I can't be mad at either one. Man, I wish y'all the best, and I hope this video brings you great value, and not the cheap brands at the grocery store, but great value in life. I'm out. Deuces.